Hello, welcome to this video. It is the second half of 2023. We have finally approached and we are finally here in the second half of 2023. First of all, I do apologize again for the second time. I don't know if I apologized for the first time before, last year, but this year I sincerely apologize because of the fact that I did not upload in June. But honestly, I don't think it is really that big a deal. So, but yeah, I'll admit it. I'm kind of running out of video ideas. Can't really get much ideas. So that's why today we're gonna do a highlights video. That's right. We're gonna. It's more of a. It's more of a talking about things that has happened lately. This is not talking about current life though. That I'll do in another video, in a more serious tone, I would say. But basically, I didn't upload in June because, again, due to the fact that I'm just not because I'm busy, but rather more because I'm just not very invested as of yet. But as I mentioned in my community post I made a few days ago on my channel community page, community tab, I did actually mention that I'll make an update video about this in the weeks ahead, talking about what's been going through my mind and whatnot. So, as I said just now, today is more of a highlights video, as a return back again in July, where I'm going to talk about things that has happened lately. One thing that I think you might be very aware is the fact that my channel has actually hit 9 years. That's right. My channel is officially 9 years old, everyone. So, hooray, everybody. The thing is, I don't really celebrate channel anniversaries anymore, but next year when we hit 10 years of this channel, I am sort of technically planning on doing something, but I think then again, likelihood, 80-90% chance it's going to just be update video of some sort talking about the fact that, thanks for all the good times, thanks for subscribing, thanks for whatnot, in terms of just so it happens that just as we're saying about subscribers, by the way, thank you guys for 120 subscribers, by the way. I wanted to actually just kind of briefly mention also about the fact that not my latest video, my second latest video, which is the one I did, the video on GeoGuessr, unexpectedly blew up and got a lot of views. I'm not too celebratory mood on that. I'm not too euphoric on that. I would say, as some would say, there is a lot. There's a long road ahead, to really just to really get even more views. So I wouldn't be too confident about this. I wouldn't say that it's like wow, wow, 248 views finally, yeah, cool. I have not had this amount of views. I'm gonna celebrate. But the fact is, thank you for 248 views on the GeoGuessr video and 120 subscribers. Just as we're talking about subscribers. But anyway, I don't want to go too much on the whole channel anniversary. So that is one thing I wanted to talk about, but I don't want to go too much in detail about that because I don't see it as a very big deal to really celebrate in a big way, channel anniversary, at least for now. Because I don't really have, I honestly don't really have the resources to kind of like so-called pop a champagne party or whatever for a fucking for a channel anniversary, and I don't, as I mentioned, I don't have an idea in mind to as to how to celebrate this 10-year anniversary or any year anniversary that we hit on this channel. So yeah, but I didn't upload a video for the channel anniversary thing because it's I mean one partially because I forgot, but I forgot, but also it's like not a big deal. But don't get me wrong, it is a celebratory time, and I'm very and I would say decently proud of where I am today, 9 years after I created this channel. Technically, it's actually 11. If I used to actually have this channel since 2012, but maybe I'll get into that in another video. Um, if I can remember to talk about this. So anyway, that's one thing that I wanted to talk about today. But another mainly today rather, I wanted to talk about some news which I think uh, which I feel I don't really talk about in a highlights video. Previously, the previous highlights video that I did was back in April 2020, which was really interesting. I talked more about local stuff, about the back then when Corona was still a thing. Um, the fact that McDonald's closed for the whole of the lockdown period, and the fact that you know we had the Singapore had the highest COVID-19 number in Southeast Asia. That was all. It felt like eons ago with that one, but it was a pretty fun time. But in today's highlights, I wanted to talk more about international news. One that happened last month in June, and one that happened rather a few days ago. That's right. I might as well. This highlights video. In fact, I kind of just came up with this on the whim, to be honest. So, but nonetheless, I wanted to talk about some news. Okay, so the two news that I wanted to talk about today is the first of all, the first one is the one that happened in June last month, which is you definitely heard about this one. It's about the Titan submersible. So to give a bit of context, the this is a this is kind of like a tourist submarine. So it brings you to the Titanic shipwreck, which they found back in 1985. It brings you to the Titanic shipwreck, and you can see in detail. However, there's a twist to this uh, because this is really like high, very deep sea vessel tour. Obviously, it will cost a lot of money. Okay, so it costs about 250,000 US dollar, which it's understandable. But for a price like that, to then bring people on a vessel which looks like this, inside the Titan submersible vessel is missing in the North Atlantic. Okay, this is how the vessel looks like inside. So basically, the 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 submersible went missing. Obviously, that's what you know from the articles that you may have read back in June. It went missing after an hour 45 in the sea, and rescue operations happened. And basically, uh, this was bound to happen in a sense because of the fact that this submersible was badly designed. And so, bad design with a really high price, that's where the really, really not so good situation happens. So, basically, inside the submersible, looks something like this. Let me find some other pictures for this. So this is actually how it looks like inside. Yeah, it sort of looks a bit like nice, luminous, very comfy, small area, but it is not actually safe. A lot of the or some experts and even John Cameron himself has actually mentioned that this is not safe for deployment in a sense. So
the Titanic tourist submersible that can withstand 150 million pounds of pressure. Unfortunately, it couldn't do that in this unsuccessful one. Um, the thing is, the CEO of this Titan submersible, or who made this Titan submersible, the CEO himself, ignored safety regulations. That's the important point here. He ignored safety regulations, and despite knowing, or rather dismissing these calls that it is not safe to deploy, he ignored them and still decided to deploy these Titan submersibles with reasonings that's like, oh, it's safe, or saying that it's like, oh, there's this and that. The thing is, yeah, this image over here, the way they control this submersible is literally just this game controller and like just a few like simple buttons, and that's it. You would think with these kind of submersibles there's like advanced technology to kind of work things out, but no, the CEO is like, no, no, just these simple little things on the submersible is good enough. Okay. um but basically, experts raised safety concerns in 2018 about the submersible vessel that's been missing. Uh, and despite that, the safety concerns that's been raised, the CEO himself, who made these submarines, ignored the safety regulations, and thus, what happened, as you probably where you already read, is the fact that the Titanic suffered a catastrophic implosion. The search operation, by the way, took like I think 5 days, and they finally found the remnants of this submersible, and and the outcome was that it suffered a catastrophic implosion that unfortunately killed everyone on board. Okay, so one one thing about this, one sad thing about this uh, catastrophic implosion and whatnot. One of the passengers on board this submersible, I think it's very important to point this one out, is that is one of the passengers is a 19-year-old who actually just wanted to spend time with his father, uh, and basically his father is also on board the submersible. One, all he wanted to do was to spend time with his father on Father's Day as well, um, and just bond with him, and just really just spend time with him. I think if I'm not wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. Uh, I think he didn't really want to see the Titanic anyway, but he just out of the fact of wanting to spend time with his father. Um, I think this was I think this was really sad because again, he was really young, obviously. Um, again, this was again, like I said, the whole sum up with this news is that it's literally Ocean Gate, by the way, the company that operated the Titan. Uh, the CEO just the outcome is that he ignored all the safety regulations and still deployed the submersible with piloted using a game controller and touch screens. And the toilet is just like that as well, um, which is really really like small. Yeah. So yeah, it says here it's 19. Uh, the passengers were the CEO himself was on board. Okay, and the four others were blah, 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 and it's 19 uh, Shazada Dawood and his 19-year-old son Sulaiman uh, were all passengers of the Titanic of the Titan sub. So in a sense, the general consensus about this is yes, it's it's sad, but at the same time, it's kind of like some people say, it's like, oh, rich people deserve this and whatnot. But what do you guys think? I think I would say it is there is a sense of sadness in this, and especially for the guy who just wanted to spend time with his father. And like that is all he wanted to do. Um, so in fact, I think if I'm not wrong, actually, his mom actually wanted to be on this Titanic sub, but she offered to have, or rather, she wanted to have her son rather to actually, because I think they were on bad terms, and wanted to be on board the sub, just to spend time with his dad. So, in conclusion, this is rather somewhat sad, but I think there's a lot of there's a lot to think about this, and uh, and another important point about this is the fact that some of these safety regulations, alarm bells, and whatnot, has been raised since 2018. And in fact, lawsuits have also happened with this as well. So I think you've pretty much read about all that as well. So there's a lot that went on with this one. So that's one news that I want to talk about. This was really a big news that uh, happened back in June. And another one that I want to talk about today is Meta. Not Meta, but rather, I mean, yes, Meta, but specifically the Threads app. I am very sure the past week, I think everyone has been really, um, it kind of dropped, it kind of launched as on a whim. I would like to believe that the app was launched on a whim and just out of the fact that they found an opportunity to launch it. Obviously, Threads is the clear rival app to Twitter, and basically Twitter finally now has real competition. Twitter has had competition for the past few years, but like such as Blue Sky, which I only have heard about recently. But apparently Jack Dorsey, which was the former Twitter CEO, is the board of director on Blue Sky. But anyway, Blue Sky. One point is Blue Sky is one of the competitive apps rival to Twitter. But because these are like they don't really have like like if you talk in the context of a portfolio sense, right? They don't have like a portfolio, past experience of like, oh, I own big app or something, right? Whereas for Meta, right, because it has Instagram, it has Facebook, there's already there's already a foundational footing, and so with that, this is more of a major company, and if Meta creating a Twitter-like app, clearly this is where the real competition is. So obviously, as Meta has launched the Threads app, which is literally a replica or a lot of striking similarities to Twitter. It's basically trying to be. I don't know if it's right to say this. Trying to be the new Twitter, which I would say to some extent. The Threads app has successfully, in a way, successfully brought in a lot of people to use the app. In fact, I think if I'm not wrong, it managed to garner 100 million people to join Threads in just 5 days, and that is pretty impressive. So, yeah, basically Threads is a direct challenge, as it says here. It's a direct challenge to Twitter. Twitter has basically been, on a downfall recently with Elon Musk taking over. Actually, even before that, even before Elon Musk actually took over, Twitter has been gradually going on a downhill. And I think people didn't know what the heck is going. Not that they don't know what's going on, but they just didn't know what to do. I think now with Elon Musk taking over, I admit it. I'll admit it. I initially thought I initially thought Elon Musk would actually have would actually make Twitter a better place. Sure, I wouldn't say instantly become better. But I thought, maybe he introduce some changes and there could be hope for Twitter. Unfortunately, that was not the case. It was quite the polar opposite, and Twitter went in incredibly more downhill and faster downhill than before Elon took over. So, but then that's not to say Twitter is bad or whatever. But I mean, Twitter is bad. Okay. Um, I mean, the fact is, Twitter has been going on the down, and a lot of people don't like the fact that Twitter, aside from the changes that Elon Musk makes on the platform, um, which some of them are quite ridiculous, $8 check mark and whatnot. Uh, the whole it's the community of Twitter, right? A lot of people say oh it's toxic and whatnot. You cannot seem to have an opinion. You once you give opinion, people start attacking and whatnot. So with threads, it's become I think to me I think threads I would say it's like a refresh, kind of like a nice uh, air breather, a nice fresh breather, a nice fresh breather of air for normal Twitter users, and they find that hey this actually Threads is just like Twitter, but no toxicity, no this and that and whatnot, no hunting, whatever. So that's essentially what's happening with Threads here. So it's meant to be, it's meant to be kind of bringing people from Twitter over to Threads. Although I don't think that's really their point. They try to market it, but they don't necessarily want to like force people to come to Threads, but encouraging, encourage. In a sense, it's encouragement. So yeah, but again, the thing about this one, obviously, some people also say that Threads is owned by Meta. Obviously, it is, and Meta is well known for its recent controversies that it uh, is stealing data. It is trying to um, look into privacy, people's private info and whatnot, right? So, whereas Twitter and whatnot, so there's a lot of like, yeah, basically there's advantages and disadvantages on Twitter. Same thing with using Threads as well. You run the risk of like this and that. So some people, not some people, but I think a lot of people that come onto Threads now is really out of curiosity and uh, either one of these two reasons, out of curiosity or because they cannot get, they are enough. They're just enough. Twitter is enough for you. So they go to Threads and it's, nice fresh air to breathe. So that's what I think is happening. So but yeah, I just want to point out these two. Like I said, this one as well because it's pretty massive. Even I myself am, you know, it's inevitable. I am a little curious, so I also want to check out Threads, and it's pretty good. It's a pretty good app so far. Everyone is pretty nice with each other. Obviously, the one downside about Threads, I think very obvious, is the fact that Threads does not really function like Twitter just yet. In a sense, uh, it doesn't have important features like a follower only feed. Basically, the people you follow, you want to see their posts only, right? So basically, functioning just like Twitter, right? So I think that's one main thing that is that's not on Threads, as I suppose would be implemented in the weeks to come. So yeah, I think that will be something that would be happening. So, but also Meta creating Threads, would it be a Twitter killer? Is also another thing that we will have to see. So with Threads now up and running, I would say it's kind of like a the way they launched this. I feel like this is like a beta version of Threads right now. So the full release hasn't really come into effect although it is a full release, but the full release feel doesn't it's not really there until until they add the features that I've mentioned. So yeah, I think um, whether or not this will actually be the new Twitter or the better Twitter, I think would actually a lot of us, I think, at least for me as well, we would like to take a wait and see approach, and we will just observe and see whether or not things will change for the better. But yeah, pretty much that's the two news I want to talk about that happened in June and this month, just recently. Um, so yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And thanks for watching this highlights video, and hope to upload more videos. Like I said, I really apologize if I really apologize if there's lack of videos. I'll update more in the weeks to come. So thank you very much for watching anyway, and I'll see you in the next one.